What up, Carnival Spirits? It's Miss Jinx here again for a live interview with a special guest this evening. Thank you for turning in. If you guys have any questions or comments, go ahead and send them to the Twitter page or in the comments down below, and we'll try to answer those as soon as we can. So, we have a special guest for you this evening. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, homie?
What's up? What's up? I'm Skitso-P.
And tell us about what you do.
Well, I'm a recording artist. I am a part-time actor. I'm a full-time manager for myself. And I also help my parents with the family business, Did a lot of music for a lot of years, maybe like 14 years now. I've been doing music off and on. Really serious about it, maybe 2 years now and running.
Wow.
So getting a little bit more serious about it.
14 years is a minute.
Yeah. I mean, I was writing and like recording myself, recording my peers, and kind of just like building a movement within the area, and kind of just started from something small, like a small little track, and then eventually going into different studios, in and out of different studios, and then meeting different people.
Gotcha.
And then kind of just climbing up the ladder, and just still keep doing it to this day.
That's what's up, dude. So what got you into actually doing the music?
I guess it was like originally my love for hip hop. So I really, really enjoyed breakdancing when I was little. And I really liked to breakdance, and I liked the whole, the attitude and the style, and just like everything that like intrigued me into hip hop. It wasn't until maybe when I was in grade school, maybe like 5th grade, that I developed a huge passion for the Insane Clown Posse, everything Psychopathic Records, Twisted, Blazed Dead Homie, the Cottonmouth Kings. I just started listening to everything just underground, probably about when I was in grade school.
Right. What was the first little bit of ICP that you got exposed to? How did that happen?
All right, so the very first little bit of ICP I got exposed to was before 5th grade, probably about maybe 3rd grade. I was at a summer camp in the city, small little city that's probably about north of where I live. But what happened was this kid was just like, "Hey, you got to listen to this." And I was like, "All right, you know what I mean? I'll listen to it." And it was the Needin' Game by Insane Clown Posse. And at first I was just like, "Wow, that was crazy." Like I couldn't even understand them. You know what I mean? I thought it was just like a skit. Like I didn't really think it was like serious music. And then years later, I was playing backyard wrestling for the Xbox with my buddy, and then we came across the Homies video. We came across the We Don't Die video, and I was just like, damn, they got blood all over those Adidas's. That's crazy. And I just fell in love. I fell in love with it right then and there. I was just like, that's just totally the opposite of what I've been listening to, what I've been fed, through the television and and it kind of just went that route as I started to listening to them, and just went to shows, went to a bunch of shows, went to a bunch of ICP shows, a bunch of Twisted shows, saw Tech Nine. I got to meet Blaze. I mean, I went to a handful of Cottonmouth King shows. So
that's what's up, dude. So it just kind of came at you full force out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, what happened was I just really kind of got intrigued by the horror and the darkness of the music, I think. But at the same time, which is crazy because I'm such a humble cat, and like I'm just like a humble dude. I'm really nice, you know what I mean? So it's almost like the complete opposite, and I think that's where the whole schizo character comes from. It's just like the complete opposite of what I actually am.
How would you describe the music that you're doing now?
So the music that I'm doing now is probably a little bit more on the trap hip hop side. So it's a little bit heavier. It's a little bit heavier than the underground sound. And it's kind of a little bit almost a mainstream sound, you know what I mean? Almost like a mainstream sound, but at the same time, I still, I still recognize my roots, and I still recognize the fact that, I always hint on the fact that, I am a juggalo, and, that's what I love. And you know what I mean? That's what I grew up with. And it's not going to stop. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, definitely.
I got the Twisted papers right here that I'm just rolling up the joints with. I got those when I just saw Twisted recently. They fucking blew me away. It was like a metal show. It was a metal show, / rap show. So it was a great time.
So speaking on them, did it trip you out when they left Psychopathic, or were you just like, good for them, they can do what they want?
I think what happens there is just like it sucks, but money gets in the way. Money's gonna get in the way of everything. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter if it's music, doesn't matter if it's friendship, family. The same thing happened to the Cottonmouth Kings.
That was a crazy thing.
Their manager was taking that money from below, and I'm not saying that ICP was taking the money or anything like that. I'm just saying that it happens that it's no longer about the family, and it's more about them doing what they need to do as individual artists, and they're still sticking to the family roots and everything. You know what I mean? All the people that were at that past Twisted show, they all love for ICP. You know what I mean? No one's like boycotting one or the other. No one's doing that. It's just all love. I think they just realized that it's 2016, so it's not. They didn't just release Freak Show.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
They've been doing it. They've been doing it. So they have a lot of albums with ICP, and that's a lot of residuals. Gets into a lot of law. Technically.
Yeah, it kind of blows my mind in that when you're on a label like that for so long and they're calling the shots for you, once you leave, you are really able to do your own thing. And it's astounding who they can work with now. I mean, everything from horror movie names to, different producers that you might not expect them to work with. And so, blase. It's pretty impressive.
Absolutely.
Now, are you on your own label?
No, I'm currently unsigned right now.
Okay.
So I'm just a recording artist. So I'm just recording and trying to, put my stuff out there. I actually don't even have an album, so I just got a mixtape out there. That's at Dat Piff. It's called The Never Ending Comeback, Skitso-P, Skitso space P, Never Ending Comeback, The Never Ending Comeback. And that's a mixtape that I have online that's free. As well as, music on SoundCloud, and that's at Reverb Nation, but that's kind of my older stuff. But right now I'm just kind of trying to build up towards an album, trying to, really kind of develop a style that's unique and that's my own, and not trying to take anybody else's, but at the same time, make it my own and stay true to who I am and, what I want to write about and things, and bring that art to the table.
That's definitely essential. I mean, I've heard his music, you guys, and it is definitely not. It is not the same washed up juggalo rap shit that you hear over and over again, which I can really appreciate.
I mean, and it's not even that I'm trying to not do that. It's that it's just, I'm trying to, kind of, because I did that before, man. I loved it. I actually had a lyric that was Dark Carnival for Life with the Spirits, which is crazy. And it was,
that is really kind of a trip.
Yeah, it was circling my head that I actually wrote that like years ago, and now I'm doing this. But that was like on one of my first things that I did when I was trying to record. You know what I mean? Not really actually in the studio. Like just press and record and press and rewind and listening to it and like, oh, maybe this is cool. I'm putting it on the internet and whatnot. That was years before that I got into a studio and kind of tried to do something different. Build up a production, build up a track, and kind of put things together.
It's interesting to me how when you're young, you kind of always do go more for what your influences are, like flat out. Like there's no hiding it. If you're a metal artist that listens to nothing but
Yeah.
Metallica and you play your own metal, like people are going to listen to it and go, oh, you listen to Metallica or, you know, whatever. So it's interesting to see people's evolution in that way for
Right.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. To regards to that, I was at a show in Worcester, Massachusetts, and Boondocks was playing this small little pub with Shaggy Two Dope's brother at the time. His name was Trey Pound, I believe, Trey Pound.
Mm-hmm.
And he did the show. He did the show with Boondocks, and after the show, I was just like, oh, I've been doing music and stuff. Would you like to hear my track? Possibly collaborate on some music. We were also, drinking beers and shooting the shit with the manager and whatnot. And it was crazy. I mean, they were just in a a little tour bus or whatever, just kind of coming out to the little venue, kicking it with us. And Boondocks did unbelievable. I mean, he threw down, and so did Shaggy Tulips' brother Trey Pound. I mean, it was crazy, and they showed nothing but clown love. And he was like, "Damn, yeah, we'll listen to it. I mean, we'll give it a listen. And that at the time, I just didn't have the money to link up with them, or I would have, further, got the ball rolling and tried to link up with them, maybe, try to reach out to Psychopathic or whatever. But just at the time, I just didn't have the money. So I mean, that opportunity passed. So I just kept doing it. You know what I mean? I just kept rapping and stuff. I played a handful of shows, in the area, all in New England. They're down there.
That's what's up, dude. So was it great? Like, tell me about the first show you played. Was that just fucking crazy?
All right, so one of the first shows I played was at the Middle East in Boston, Massachusetts, and I kind of fucked up because I was trying to be a manager, a hype man, and a rapper, all for my buddy at the same time, because I was really trying to hype my buddy's music. Because at the time I was just recording. At the time I was just recording my buddy. He had a Tech 9. He had a quick, fast, killer flow. So I was just recording him and trying to book him shows and get him shows and trying to get the ball rolling with his music, but at the same time kind of be there, be on stage, watch the whole thing, get hyped with the crowd. And long story short, he was doing his thing. We were really getting live and shit. And my brother passed me a beer, and at the time I was underage, and right at the moment that I sipped it, the guy just put me in a headlock and threw me right out.
No.
Threw me right out. I ended up getting on the phone with the promoter, and I was like, "Hey man, can you let me back in? Can you let me back in?" And he was like, "Nah, man, I can't.
Wow.
You gotta be more serious about the music." And then at that point in time, I was just like, "All right, I understand," and ended up leaving the city. But my boy, he finished the show and he said it was dope,
Wow.
and that was like the first song. I was just getting hella hype. I was just getting real hype. And they threw me out. But I mean, it was what it was. You learn from your mistakes, and
yeah, dude, being a dumb kid. I mean, we've all been there.
Yeah, exactly. And and I went on to do some more shows with that promoter. Leeds Entertainment in Boston, Massachusetts. They hooked me up for some shows. I mean, he continued to do business with me, so for that I was grateful.
That's what's up. He probably knew better.
oh, for sure. He's seen it all. I'm sure.
So you said you guys you're working on some new stuff, or are you trying to get just a full album out?
Yeah, I'm trying to get like a solid couple of tracks going. Right now, trying to kind of in the studio, kind of trying to reach back out with my buddy who I was just talking about, who was on stage with me at that time. When I did that first show, and try to get him on the album, try to reach out to a couple other kids that I used to record, back in the day, that I was just recording with, having fun, and try to get them on the album and kind of finish it in the way that I want to, and hopefully, dot the T's and, cross the I's or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. It takes work, but I mean, shit, dude, you'll do it.
Oh, absolutely. It's a lot of hard work. It's more than just kind of putting it all together and throwing it out
Right,
there.
right. It's definitely more than just rapping into a microphone at the end of the
Oh,
day.
100%.
And then, let me see. If you had a dream collaboration, anybody, dead or alive, who would it be?
I would have to say either, Daddy X or Violent J, or maybe both of them. That'd be
Uh-huh,
crazy.
uh-huh.
It's like I feel like they are I want to say brains almost of the operation. So it's like
Right.
to have those two together on the track, that would be dope. On the other side of things, if I could do a track with, you know, maybe D-Loc from the
Mhm.
Cottonmouth Kings as well. I'd like to do that. One time I got love for the Cottonmouth Kings. One time they ended up hooking us up, so it was cool.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, I was in Worcester, Massachusetts with my father, and long story short, I ended up talking to Lou Dog, and he was mad cool, and I was like, what happened was we were drinking beers and smoking in the parking lot, and we missed the show, and I was like, hey man, I missed the show, and he was like, what? No, we played Killer Show, and I was like, yeah man, could you possibly give me a sticker? Because at the time, D-Lo put out his clothing company Hostility, and I just wanted a
Mhm.
sticker for my laptop. And long story short, Lou Dog just ended up hooking us up with tickets to go see them in New
Oh,
York City.
wow.
So we went and saw them in New York City. We drove to New York City and saw them because we didn't. At the time, we thought Cottonmouth Kings were headlining, but Twisted was the one headlining. So we walked into the show and the Cottonmouth Kings were
Wow.
over. We thought, yeah, we were late to the show, or whatever. But yeah, it worked out. It was cool. The Cottonmouth Kings hooked it up, so that was cool.
Yeah, it worked out.
Oh hell
That's good.
yeah, 100%.
Shout out to the viewers. I see a couple people watching here.
Yeah,
So
go
that'd
but
be
go.
dope though, man.
Yeah, absolutely. What happened was Lou Dog stayed in touch, and it was a couple of times they came around, maybe once or twice, maybe. That he stayed in touch with me, and he hit me up and said, we're coming back around, and he actually made me buy up some glow sticks for him so he could throw up in the audience,
Nice.
after the show. So I came through with the glow sticks, and we were just chilling. The time that I went and saw him in New York City when he gave us the tickets, we're shopping at Toys R Us for his kid. So that was
Wow.
cool, you know what I mean? And I was kind of doing something. I wasn't really kind of making anything happen at the time, but
Mhm.
so I wasn't about to like reach out and be like, oh, I'm doing music and stuff. I was just having a blast, just hanging out.
Yeah,
It,
definitely.
it,
That's
it,
pretty intimate, honestly.
yeah, it was definitely pretty crazy. My parents were there, so my dad was there. He ended up, my buddy was there. He ended up coming, so it was a good time. We ended up just driving into the city and going to see the Commonwealth Kings. It was cool.
Wow, that's amazing. You gotta love people who have love for their fans, instead of
Oh,
just the
absolutely.
money.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
absolutely, 100%. I mean, what happened was that night when Lou Dog, when I talked to Lou Dog after I talked to Lou Dog and asked him for that sticker, he said, "All right, come back to the bus." And I was like, "Okay, you know what I mean." And my dad and I were just waiting by the bus. All of a sudden, the door opens and D-Lo, he freaking comes out. He like, "What up?" And he freaking gives me daps, and inside his hand is a T-shirt, and he just gives me the T-shirt. I got it right here. He gave me this T-shirt, right? And what happened was I just asked him for a sticker. And he hooked me up with this shirt.
Nice, dude. That's what's up.
Hostility, hostility. I don't know. I don't know if he word or whatever, but uh, he just hooked me up with it. I was blown away because I was watching them smoking mad weed just in the back in high
Mhm.
school and stuff. So
Of
just
course. Yeah, of course.
huge fan of the Commonwealth Kings. Go out and buy Crown Power if you haven't heard of it. If you haven't heard it yet, it's dope,
Yeah,
dope album,
definitely.
dope album.
Um, God, dude, when I was a little shit, like 12 or 13, I ended up seeing them performing with ICP and
Right.
Bone Thugs and Harmony, I want to say. It was so fucking
Oh
long
no
ago.
shit. That's
And
dope.
I was
Um, um, um.
outside, and I remember the like D-Look was outside, but I hadn't seen a lot of music videos at the time.
Right,
You know
right.
what I
So you
mean?
didn't even
And so
know.
I
You
was
didn't even.
like,
He was probably
he looks
chopping the shit
familiar
up.
to me. So I
Yeah.
thought, oh, he's just another juggalo that I know from around the way. And so I go up to him and
Damn.
I'm like, oh, you look so familiar to me. And he's like, I bet I do. Hold on a second. And he went on ICP's tour bus and copped a fucking bag of little Snickers and was like, oh, Violent J's going to be so mad. And he just gave me and my little friend candy like it was no big
No
deal. And I was just like,
way. That's
what?
dope. Took Violent
You know,
J's candy. That's
yeah,
right.
exactly.
That's so
Just gave him
dope.
the bone. I know, dude. I was like, what the hell? Like, I was so young though, it didn't really hit me. You know what I mean? Until I was
Right,
older, and I'm
right.
like, oh, that's kind of fucking crazy. Like, I haven't thought
Yeah.
about that shit in a minute, but it was just so nonchalant. Like, oh, do I know you? Oh yeah, you look familiar. Okay.
Right.
um, I digress. So, as far as music goes, what do you think your top four hip hop albums would be?
Ooh. All right. So I
I know
mean,
it's tough.
I guess the Great Malenko would have to be up there. Number one. Um. Uh. I think it's Significant Other by Limp Bizkit. Does that sound right? Their
Yeah, yeah.
album, that first album, Significant Other. I think that'd be number two. I think three would be number seven by the Cottonmouth Kings.
Okay.
I love number seven with the King Clegg. Um, number four, geez, I think I'm gonna have to give it out up to geez, I want to say Boondocks, but is it Untold Unwritten? I believe it's Untold Unwritten, or that might be the song title. It was one of his albums, and he went in with on that album. He sounded like Ozzy. He sounded like Ozzy on that album. I think it's
Right.
Crimson Creek. Crimson Creek. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Boondocks, Crimson
Crimson
Creek.
Creek. I was like,
Yeah,
fuck, dude, I can't think of it. Wait
yeah.
for it.
Untold Unwritten. That song's dope. And then he got that other song with the chick. Um, damn, I forget
Yeah,
that
that's a
song. Whatever that
classic.
one.
That's a
Yeah,
classic.
that's a wicked good song by Boondocks. I just can't think of the name right now.
It's cool to me when people that aren't from the South like his shit. Because it fucking
Yeah,
blows my mind. Like, because being from Atlanta myself, I'm like, you guys like that? What?
right, right. Yeah, I love that kind of southern style that he brings, that
Uh-huh.
south that that uh that southern rock kind of style. I think it's really cool. I was listening to Boondocks back in high school, back in freshman year. His first album, what was his first album? Not Pumpkinhead, but the one right after that, the one he did with jeez, who was on that album? Violent J was on that album. It ain't a thing, girl. Must have not
It's
have
not the
told you.
harvest, is it? Am I
I could
tripping?
pick you up in the
No.
ground in Georgia. Yeah, Boondocks is the man. Shouts out to Boondocks right now, for sure, for sure. He,
um,
he writes some powerful lyrics. Powerful lyrics.
yeah, definitely, definitely. So, let me see what other crazy questions can I cook up here. What
Yeah,
about
it's whatever.
the best release of 2016 so far?
16. I'm gonna have to go with. I'm definitely gonna have to go with. You know. Geez, 2016. What I listened to lately? Um, I listened to Crown Power, but that just came out. I don't know if it was 15 or 16 on that. I might have came out a while ago. That's been in my car for a long time. I've been bumping to that.
I do the same shit, dude.
Um,
I'll wear
yeah,
out.
I kind of just listen to albums over and over and over. But
Mhm.
geez, what what I'm gonna have to pass. I don't even know right now. I'm not sure.
It's all good, dude. There's so much fucking music out there. It's hard to concentrate on any one. Um, let me see. Let me see. Do you have any shout outs you want to give at all?
Um, I mean, I would shout out everybody whoever listened, whoever supported. You know what I mean? Thank you for the support, and I entirely appreciate it. Shout out my homie Joey G. Shout out my homie the Duke. Shout out my homie Johnny Keys. Shout out my homie Steve Wood. Shout out my homie DVP. Shout out my homie Benny Swag. Shout out my homie Jakey D. I mean, there's so many people that I could just shout out. It's so crazy because I'm just like, I'm not one of those people that are just like, yo, shout out this, shout out that, like
Right.
I'm more like, oh, all right, this person's getting mad hype, I think the only time that I get really crazy hype is just like on stage. Like I really kind of come together into the character and just like try to get it, just get really crazy.
Right. So, what kind of helped you build that character for yourself? Is it like an outlet for you, or?
I think for the most part, it's just like I've always been kind of outgoing, so I kind of always been like the loud one, like really just like crazy and like just kind of out there and bizarre,
Right.
I really enjoyed theater. So I was in theater, so I was on
Okay.
stage acting. So I think it was I kind of took it from the page, to the stage, and I didn't really want to recite lines. I kind of wanted to write my own, and then like drop the fine performance, and then picked up a microphone type thing.
Gotcha. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it kind
And
of
now
just
you.
it kind of just all kind of came together. I was just like, oh, maybe I can rap.
Mhm. Mhm.
Little weed, and then also I was writing. I was just writing all different kinds of shit, and some of it stuck, and some of it some of it was kind of crazy, but that's the learning process. So
Yeah, definitely understandable. Are you still acting? Are you still doing?
no, I don't do any acting. I mean, I tried to act in the video that I just recently
Gotcha.
did. That just recently came out with Chicago rapper Getty. Um, I do a little bit, you know what I mean, a little bit of acting, but nothing too crazy. I'm just kind of improvising my song,
Right.
kind of improvising lyrics, kind of doing like, weird gestures here and there.
Gotcha.
Nothing like script oriented, but I mean that would be fun, to just write up a script and kind of start acting again. That'd be different. That'd be definitely different.
Yeah, for sure. um, let me see. What kind of advice would you give to people that are just trying to pursue the same kind of lifestyle and career path?
I think the only thing is like, just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Just I think the fear is what holds most people back, and definitely just kind of jump. Just go ahead and
Mhm.
jump, and don't be afraid, and try to, it's a gamble. It's definitely a gamble. I had a bunch of snakes, take money from me, take, what I mean, the opportunity. My buddy one time, it was supposed to open for D12, never happened. Promoters to take your money. Like, there's so many different, like, be smart. Don't be naive. You know what I mean? Don't be naive, but at the same time, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid
Right.
to jump and get on stage and do your thing.
Yeah, definitely good advice. Solid. Um, let me see. I think we like blew through those.
No, it's all good. No worries whatsoever.
But I can think of some more shit to say.
Shouts out to all the juggalos listening. I mean, I opened for Cess Crew one time. They got signed to Strange Noise.
That's what's
And
up.
it was a hella juggalo show, and I was loving every minute of it. You know what I mean? Because that it's just like that's the family, that whole vibe, that whole, you know what I mean, that whole atmosphere. That was dope. I mean, that's why I kept going back to the seeing Clown Posse shows and the Twisted shows and the Captain King shows, because everybody, they just so down. You know what I mean? It was cool. It was cool. Everybody wanted to talk to everybody. Everybody smoking weed with everybody. Like, it's just mad chill. It's a good atmosphere. It's a fun time.
Do you feel like you've ever been singled out for being a juggalo? Like, do you feel like you catch a lot of heat?
What the thing is, I feel like most people are like, he thinks he's a juggalo or something like that, and then once they realize that like I am a juggalo and I have been down for a while, and like I'm not afraid to mention that within my lyrics, I think that then they're like, oh, okay, you know what I mean, you're real with it, you know what I mean, you're not just trying to be like, you know, just like some killer, you know, some killer or whatever, you know, on some crazy. Some crazy hardcore shit. I mean, I love hardcore too, but I'm trying to showcase my skills as a rapper as well as an artist. You know, trying to be unique about it, but at the same time, just be live and get hype.
Absolutely, super important. I mean, nobody wants to hear the same thing over and over again. So
yeah, that's it. That's definitely it.
Shit, man. Tell them again where they can find all of your music at, in case people tuning in just.
So yeah, for everybody tuning in, much clown love. First of all, you can follow me at LSM Skitso-P on Twitter. That's at LSM Skitso-P, all one word on Twitter. YouTube is Skitso-P. So you can subscribe to my channel. I just released a video with Getty. It's called Monroe. You can just type in Skitso-P on Google, and you can view that. I'm on Facebook at LSM Skitso-P as well. I'm on Facebook at that handle. And I'm also on Instagram at LSM Skitso-P. So it's kind of just LSM Skitso-P across the board.
That's what's up. Just plug it into Google.
Trying to keep it easy for that Google search, you know, so it comes up.
Branding is smart, dude. Branding is smart. I feel like that's where people get fucked up.
Yeah, I think for the most part, you know, it's definitely tough to keep a name, you know, develop that name and kind of run with it, and, you know, see if people like it, and if people like it, you know, cool, and if people don't like it, then, you know, you kind of keep just making music, you know, and just meet different people along the way, and just doing shows and, you know, having a good time. I met a couple of juggalos. They were having a real good time, you know what I mean? Just, you know, playing shows, opening up for Twisted, and they were just like, yo, man, we're just doing it, you know what I mean? We're just doing our thing. And I was just like, hell yeah, man, I rap too, you know, definitely keep doing it, you know?
That's what's up, dude. Yeah, definitely go for it. Shit, man, we tore it up.
Well, hey, I mean, if that's it, that's all it has to be, you know. It doesn't have to be anything too crazy. Short, simple, to the point, you know.
I know. Is there anything else you want to add? I mean, we do have about 5 people watching right now, so.
I mean, shout out to those 5 people. Shout out to those 5 people watching. You know what I mean? I appreciate it 100%, tenfold. You know, shout out my boy Getty. Shout out to Nick Brzezinski. Just shot the music video. Dope music video. I recommend you go watch it. It's really definitely it's something else entirely. That's for sure.
You can tell you guys put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, definitely. The production was there. Kind of just like I was saying before, you know, just afraid at first, but then kind of went for it, and, you know, it, you know, kind of turned out great, you know. You just kind of have to roll the dice and see where it goes, and, you know, sometimes it sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You know,
Definitely.
that happens.
Damn. So another thing I thought of, were your family members supportive of you making music like that, or did it like wig them out?
So so the crazy thing is, like, I'll go and do it, and then it's like, yo, why you blowing money? You know what I mean? Why you spending so much money? But then they come back, and then I got the video on YouTube, and then they're like, oh, they show everybody the video. You know what I mean? So it's just like
Mm-hmm.
you kind of get both sides, where it's just like,
Gotcha.
don't do that, but oh shit, look at this. You know what I mean? It's
That's
like,
what's up.
it's cool
Definitely.
though. It's cool though. I like it. You know what I mean? I really enjoy it. I'm humbled by everybody around me, because everybody around me is huge, like huge support, huge support. I mean,
Good.
everybody around me is telling me how great I am. You know what I mean? That just fuels the fire. You know, that's just kind of, puts the lyrics on the paper, and kind of continues to just snowball into
Mm-hmm.
something awesome, and that's what I hope people get when they listen to my music. I hope they don't take away and be like, oh, he thinks he's gangster, or oh, he thinks he's juggalo. I just want people to be like, wow, that might have been epic, let me listen again. you
Right.
know so that's kind of why I'm trying to continue making music, is for that wow factor, that 1 second where it's just like, whoa, you get that feeling, when you listen to the Joker's Cards, or when you listen to the Insane Clown Posse, their albums, all consecutively or whatever, you'll get that feeling where it's just like, oh wow, this is, this is more than just what it is. You get that feeling where it's just like, oh wow, this is great, this is some epic material.
Absolutely. Damn, that was the epic statement right there, as a matter of fact.
Hey, I just try to keep it real, and 100%, and I think that's gonna, try to, take it far, take it to the next level, and I think for the most part, for anybody who's listening, or they're trying to rap or whatever, or trying to make moves or whatever, just don't be afraid, but at the same time, just be correct, be on point with it. Don't say you're gonna be there and be late. You really do have to be
Right.
punctual. You can't just say it and not do it, like that. Sometimes people are, up in the air and whatnot, and you just have to go with it sometimes too. Sometimes you're not having the best day, but you just kind of roll with it.
I definitely agree. I mean, it's important, to put that mentality behind whatever you do, and I think that's the
Yeah,
key to success. Definitely.
yeah, yeah, totally. I think your attitude is a lot. Attitude is a lot for whatever you do. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you're working, or doing whatever. If you come with the right attitude, and you come with the right mentality, and you come correct, then 100% of the time, it's all gonna equal out. It's gonna be in your favor.
All right. All right. That's what's up, dude. Well, it's been a great one. First of
Oh,
all, thanks for
absolutely,
coming out
100%. Thank
and
you, thank
fucking
you.
chopping it up.
Dark
We
Carnival for life with the spirits.
okay. That still trips me out.
For sure, for
So
sure.
yeah, we would love to have you back, dude. Again, of
Oh,
course.
awesome! I would love
Um,
to. I would love to come back for sure, 100%.
and we'll have to chop it up again. But everybody comment, be sure to subscribe, like, share, let
Yeah,
him know,
absolutely.
how you feel about his music. Go ahead and peep him out again. Throw that handle out there one more time, just for the shit of it. I can do what I want. It's my interview.
LSM Skitso-P. LSM Skitso-P. Skitsop.
So that's what's up, y'all. We're gonna end this here. Thanks all for watching. Yeah, be sure to leave some feedback so we know if we fucked up. All right, everybody, take
Much
care.
clown love. Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.